Hey guys, welcome back. I'm doing an official intake removal video here now. Mine's going to be a little bit different because I have the catch can. I also have a different clamp here on my throttle body, and I have a few things on the intake for the supercharger and the catch can that I'm going to remove. But if you have a catch can, hopefully this stuff helps. Everybody's catch can is installed a little different, so your ports, your valves and stuff might be in different locations. So once you have your cover off, which is just clipped on to these clips back here, right here it hooks on, and then there's a screw that mounts it down here. You just take that out. I believe it's an 8mm. I haven't had mine on in a long time, but there's a screw over here on it. You gotta unscrew that, and then it just pops right off. Once that's off, tools you're gonna need. I like using my gun on this. With a 3/8 tip because it just makes it easier getting the long bolts out of the top of the intake manifold. So I've now, like I said, I have my, oops, I almost dropped it, my 3/8 T25 bit because I like it on the end of the gun. But you can just use a regular hex. That's going to be for removing your sensor back here. So this is going to be for back here to take that off. Then that just pulls right out. You don't even need to disconnect the wire from it. You can just pop it right out once you remove that bolt right there. As you can see, if you've never removed your intake before, you're gonna have two 10mm bolts back here, one here and one here. These are a pain to get to. You're gonna have to hand wrench them. If you have a speed wrench, you can remove this plastic shroud up here if you want, but I never had to. Might make it easier. That's up to you. It's a lot of these clips you have to take off. But so you have two bolts in here. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm pointing at, but let me move the wire. They screw right into here and mount to this plate. Now I don't have them in anymore. I did not put them back in. I don't really see a use for them. I'm sure they serve some type of purpose, but I've never needed them, so I didn't put them back in. It's never been an issue. I'm sure other people would tell you the same thing. All right, so now for those are 10mm. You need, once again, you need your T25 for this. For your main bolts in your intake manifold, you're gonna need a 13mm. 13mm, and as you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you have to remove. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to remove all those. And then on this side, this is the hard one, back in there. Now, let's see if we can get it. I'll point it at that guy right there. All right, he's the hard one. If you have a speed wrench, which I don't have, so I will use my 10mm on the end of an extension with a swivel to get it out as much as I can, and then I'll take it out with my hand the rest of the way. That is the only pain in the butt bolt to get out, and it also makes getting the intake manifold in and out a little bit of a trouble, but when we get there I'll show you guys that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So you do not have to remove the throttle body. You just have to remove the clamp and pull your hose back, because the throttle, you will have to disconnect some of your connectors here, and then you just take the whole thing out with the throttle body. All right, now I like to take the nut off these clamps. You don't have to, but I find it easier if you do, because these clamps do stick to your rubber hosing pretty good. Like I said, if you have a stock intake manifold, it's going to be different removing this. I have the supercharger, so, but this will give you guys the idea. There we go. Slide it back, and now your intake manifold comes right off tube. And now you have your throttle body. Good place to check for, if you don't have a catch can, this is a good place to check for any sort of blow by or oil. So go, rub your finger in there, see if you feel anything. Mine's pretty dry, so that means my catch can is working. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I already loosen this. I have a 2-piece fitting there, so I can just take that right off. Then over here on this side, you need a 10mm for down here. 10mm to remove that. You're gonna unscrew that. And then this whole piece here just pulls right out. All right, so then you can leave all your wires. You can leave your PCV side. You can leave all that. Once again, you can rub on that, see if you got anything on it, see if it's wet or dry. It's always good to check this stuff when you got it apart. I gotta remove my boost line. Now for me, this is easier for me just to pull it off of the T. Oh, it was last time. All right, now when I put that back on, I'll use a little bit of soap so it goes on nice and easy. Lost my blow off valve line there. We'll put that back in. All right, so now we're gonna go into the back and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the sensor back there. That's your T25 screw. I'll pull this out, and then once again, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it. So, got a little bit of oil on her. No, we'll check out the manifold when we remove it. So now I got my 13mm socket. I'm gonna go ahead and get in here. I'm gonna loosen all these up. It's real easy if you have a gun. You do it by hand and ratchet, it's going to take you 5 times longer. You can. You use the tools you got. Alright, now I got to do that pain in the butt one that's in the back. This is the one I dread. I got to go find my swivel socket. And guess what I can't find? What'd I do with it? Lost my 10mm socket. Just had it. Well, isn't that funny? Alright, well... Oh no, it's sitting right here. It's blending in. My socket, it's silver and black. I had it sitting on all black stuff. Alright. So I got my socket here. Alright, now let's hopefully I can get on her. Back there. Alright, so this has been kind of my perfect setup for this. Oh. So you guys can see, sorry. Alright, so yeah, I just used an extension with the swivel, with the 10mm socket. And then I got my adapter so I can fit the 3/8 in my gun, and we go from there. So now let's get her out. Alright. Oh man. Alright, that was nice and easy with this. Okay. So now you're gonna take manifold is loose. You've taken, now remember, don't forget to take your 10mm. Oh, we got one more there. Forgot about that one. You do have one more bolt back here. See right there? I didn't see that. I forgot about that one. So I'm gonna get that one. Oh, I got the wrong socket on it. Alright, now you want to have something to cover up your intake ports. So I'm going to go find my blue tape. Okay guys, so I'd recommend you have some painter's tape, but I can't find any right now. So I got some packing tape I'm going to use. I prefer to use painter's tape, the blue stuff, because it doesn't leave any residue, but I just need to cover the ports and it's not going to be for very long, so I will I can clean up my ports after them. You know what, I do need to disconnect this cable here. Right here. This one right here. You just pinch on the back side here where my pointer finger is at. You just pinch in and pull out. Okay, and there's a little tab here that you just push in on. Alright, that's that connector. Now, she should just come out. I'm taking it off in a bit, but I don't think I missed anything. I got that bolt, I got that bolt. Those are all good and loose. maybe I missed a bolt. The guy that's doing the how-to video doesn't know how to. Alright. Got all those. That one's loose. That one's loose. That one's good. That one's good. Oh, I did miss one right there. That's another swivel one. Alright, see? I haven't done this in a while. So, let me show you guys the other one I'm talking about. That's this guy right here. He's right... See? Alright, actually, that's the pain in the butt one. The other one I took out back there. This is the guy. I thought that other one was too easy to take out. This is the hard one. So I'm going to do the swivel again. We're going to see if I can make it easier. Oh yeah, this is still going to work pretty good. Alright, she's out. Now you can see what I'm talking about here. Sorry if you can see my hand. See how you can't? So you have to leave this bolt in, right? Because you can't get this out. So you got to leave that one as you finagle it out. So now what I do, I'm going to grab some pliers. Or if you have a magnet thing, I don't have a magnet thing, so I'm just going to use pliers. I'm going to pull all these out. I wish I was a little bit taller. So that these aren't in the way when I'm removing the intake manifold, so that I just have to finagle with that bolt there. These are all going to go around my toolbox. Alright. Now she should go. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright. So now, you need to get out your hoses here. Lift up the front and pull out the back. And you're out. Alright. Set my manifold off to the side here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it upside down so nothing gets in the valves. Alright, now's a good time to get in and take a look at your valves. I have a very good... Alright. My valves are debatable. They have some buildup, but you know what? They had buildup on them when I took it over to get the supercharger installed. So, the actual top of the valves look clean. Now, I'm going to show you why you want to tape this off. Hopefully you guys can see in there. My screen is off, so I can't see what I'm looking at. Stupid GoPro. There we go. Alright, so now if you guys look in there, you can see how that valve is open. That is why you want to tape these off. This valve is closed, but you can see there's still carbon buildup. But you know what? It doesn't look any worse than it did from the first time I took it over there. And the stems are dirty, but the actual top of the valves themselves are pretty clean. Now you can still see there's some buildup in there. It's pretty dirty. And I'm going to take a look at all of them. And this is why you want a catch can. So let's see if we can get down in there good for you guys to see. There you go. So now you can see the gunk on the stem of the valve versus the top of the valve is still clean. But you know, the outer walls of the intake pretty dirty. And then the back one here, oh, that's my cleanest one there, but that's open. All right, so now I'm gonna put some tape over this because you don't want anything falling in there. I'm gonna use what I got just to protect it. This is not gonna hurt anything. And this is just gonna keep me from, you know, accidentally dropping something in there. Now that's why you need some blue tape, because this doesn't stick to metal, which I'm not surprised. So I'm gonna do this. Better than nothing. Alright, so that's how to remove your intake manifold. Putting it on is just the opposite way you took it off, so I think you guys can handle that. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. It's a good time, like I said, take a look at your valves. Look at your valve covers on the inside here. Make sure you're not leaking anything. Everything's real clean on my engine here. Trying to think of anything else I need to show you guys. Oh yeah, on the intake manifold. Here, let's bring you guys over here. All right, so here's the bottom of your intake manifold. These are your gaskets. All right, so these are reusable. You don't have to replace these. They just press fit in. You got one per cylinder. So if you are doing your intake manifold, you will want to remove these and put them in, unless they provide you with new ones. You'll need to remove your throttle body. It's just the 4 bolts there. And that's it. You put your throttle body back on, put your intake manifold back on, and you're done. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, you know, you guys can reach me on Instagram at Hyperhawk Camaro. You can also reach out to me on Facebook, Benjamin Reeves. I'm in the V6 Camaro performance group all the time. I do respond to messages on Instagram, so feel free to ask any questions. No question is a dumb question. I didn't know anything about this stuff when I started either. I just played, I worked, I learned, I talked, I asked questions, and that's how you guys learn. So that's it for this tutorial. It's how to remove your intake manifold.